So have you ever wondered what your best glide speed is? Some, you know, I'm talking about for your airplane, not for what the book says, and like this airplane, Skywagon, this year, there's no number for best glide speed. But how do you figure out what best glide speed is for your airplane? Is it hard? Is it easy? Stick with us on FlyWire, figure that out. Okay, today we're going to do best glide. We're going to try to figure out what the best glide is in this airplane. The POH actually doesn't give us any, it doesn't give us anything for POH. It's a 1958 airplane, and I guess the lawyers didn't think it was important, so it's not in there. It gives us VX at 60 miles an hour, gives us VY at 90 miles an hour. Slightly varies on airspeed. I mean, for gross weight, your airspeed varies a little bit. But,
Granbury traffic, Tiger 406, about 5 miles east of Granbury. We'll be coming in for a full stop on 14 Granbury.
And there's a lot of people that say, well, best glide is midway between VX and VY. That's just an approximation. That puts it at 39.75 miles an hour. Sorry, we're flying miles an hour. So, but that's an approximation. That's not, I mean, you don't know that. So how do we figure that out?
Portland traffic, red Skywagon, back taxi 17 Portland.
How we're going to figure this out is, here's some controversial stuff for you. The best L over D max, your best glide is actually not dependent on gross weight. It's not dependent on your weight. And I know everybody thinks it is. Well, the problem is that L over D max is figured at an angle of attack. And it doesn't matter what your weight is. Your angle of attack is your angle of attack. We don't really have reliable angle of attack gauges in these airplanes, even though there's some cool ones out there. They're all approximations. So how are we going to figure that out? What we do is we approximate angle of attack by reducing our airspeed a little bit for various weight configuration. I don't have an angle of attack indicator. I'm not going to put one on the airplane. So how are we going to do that? Well, the math actually exists to figure that stuff out. It's a ratio. Your best glide speed is the result of, there's a fixed ratio. It's really interesting. For just about any airplane, it's 1.316. Kind of complicated math, sort of, and I'll put it out there if everybody's interested in it. But what you do is you figure out your V endurance, your endurance velocity. That's, in other words, if you wanted to fly, and it's a wing thing, it's a physics thing. So if you wanted to fly for the maximum amount of time with the minimum fuel burn, you figure out V endurance. Okay, that's not the same thing as V range. So V endurance is pretty close to min sync. It's pretty much the same thing as min sync speed. So what we're going to do is we're going to do glide speed, and we're just going to set up a glide. Engine out, prop pulled all the way back, prop windmill. Okay, that's what we're going to simulate today, and we're going to glide. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to try to find the minimum sync speed, and we're going to do it over 2,000 feet. And we're going to record the numbers for every 30 seconds. Hopefully this thing right here is going to record the video of the HSI, so that we can make that work. From that, we get the V endurance speed. We just can compute that, and we see it. And we figure that out, and then we multiply that by 1.316, and that's going to give us our V range, our best range velocity, okay, which is the optimum angle of attack for to maximize our range, which is the best glide speed. And we're going to do it in 5 configurations. Count them 5. We're going to do no flap. We're going to do flaps 10, 20, 30, and 40. Previous flight tests have shown that this airplane actually does better with the lift-over drag in the flaps 20 and 30 range. So we're going to try that out today and see how it works. So stick with us on FlyWire, and let's go do a little bit of flight test. We're going to do the best takeoff.
Borland traffic, red Skywagon taking active 17 Borland, departing to the south.
We're going to do a best takeoff, which is tail low, flaps 20, and basically fly it off. That's supposed to be your min-run takeoff speed, takeoff profile. So that's what we're going to try. All right, here we go. It was actually pretty nice. Alright, PY is 90, right? But it does give us, the book does give us a cruise climb of 100 to 120 miles an hour.
648 feet. Morning runway. Shortened display threshold available 83.
A little bumpy today. It's a little windy. Fortunately, the winds are all from the south. We're going to climb up to 6,000 feet and do our 5 runs. Today, I'm not really interested in setting a speed. I'm going to figure out, I'm going to set the min sink rate, or the min descent rate, so then I can figure out what that speed is to put it in my equation. I don't care what the winds are doing to me. It's not important. I'm trying to figure out what my glide ratio is, so I'm not actually trying to go anywhere or work anything about maximizing
Back is upwind to 18.
the distance that where I'm gonna be. I want to find out something about the wing, so I could care less. As 4,000 feet, I could care less about distance. I can derive that, or what that is going to be, by the speeds that I get. You can try this at home with your airplane. Figure out what the best glide is for your airplane and your configuration. Even if the POH had said, hey, this is your best glide for this airplane, I don't think I'd believe it, because it's got a Sportsman cuff on it. It's got wing X extensions, it's got BGs, and it's got those big damn tires. So that's all different. The wing's all different, and the drag is different because of those tires. Here's the thing about errors. I don't think that errors induced by, the errors are going to be small. We can cut it with a micrometer if there's 5,000. Cut it with a micrometer, but it's really an axe that we're doing it with, because we're not going to spend a whole lot of money on expensive flight test gear. It's just what's in the panel, what we can record and watch with their eyes, etc. So that's what we're doing. I got a GPS data logger to help me figure that out. But again, it's an approximation. It's not exact. So your mileage may vary. And see what your airplane does, especially if you've done mods to it. I'm also not concerned about weight.
Traffic, 521. Bridge 4 traffic.
I'll compute the math differential for weight, because I don't have an angle of attack gauge. This is flap 0. We're looking for min sink. Get it trimmed up here. Just hit my stopwatch. That's 500 feet per minute. 54, 530. 53, 470.
Good morning, forward center. Bonanza 9200 Quebec.
550. Run up on time. 520, 52, 520. That was real interesting. Alright, that's flap 0. Next one we're going to do is flaps 10. We'll figure that out, what's going to happen with that. Prop back. Flaps 10. 45. About 310. 44 and 290, 40 and 230. I'm gonna knock it off. It's 5,400. So So what I'm thinking is if it follows that 10 and 20 degrees of flap add more lift to the wing, we're going to be fine with that, and it's going to reduce our descent rate. I don't see how we can get much better than flaps 10, but then 30 and 40 is going to increase that. Okay, there's the power to idle. Prop's coming back. Establish our glide here. Oh, there's a drag polar there, and there's the phugoid. I can't fly into the phugoid, and it's up to 900 feet per minute. Well, that isn't working. Let's try 30. See if we can get anything out of 30. Now we're back into the phugoid. Get above that. So we're basically in the stall. Yeah, that didn't work. Speed's okay, but it's 570. That didn't work. So let's try flaps 40. We don't have to do 2 runs. I think it's pretty obvious that we're in the phugoid. It isn't working. That's about as slow as we can go. Is flaps 10. Here's the phugoid here. Basically the stall at 47. So let's relax. Get a more speed going. Now, shoot, our descent rate goes up to beyond 600 feet per minute. Let's go flaps 30. Go back to 55.
33-2, United, 229, good day.
Or 50, there we go, 50. Now, 600 feet per minute. I think that shows us that flaps 10 is the bomb in this wing configuration to maximize your distance. So I think that pretty much gives rise to that answer that we were looking for. I think it also gives us the speed that we can compute what the best glide's going to be. So I'm good. Are you good? Well, that was fun for my backyard flight test. I think we learned a lot. I think I'm actually real excited about flaps 10. Man. Can't wait to figure out what best glide is. And then once we figure out what best glide is what we'll do is we'll go check that out later on, you know, and see just how that works. This exercise was to find mid-sync and to figure out so we can figure out what best glide is going to be. And once we know that, we'll go and we'll check that out.
Alright, traffic, red Skywagon is left downwind, 17 blowing.
It's blowing pretty good, so I'm going to turn a little bit early. Flaps 20. On traffic, red Skywagon, left base, 17 blowing. Flaps 30.
And Bridgeport traffic, Cessna 6046 kilos, about 7 miles southeast center.
Good crosswind coming from those
At a 45 degree angle.
friggin' hangars.
Bridgeport.
So I'm going to stand a little long. Flaps 30. That was fun.
From the first time I put WingX extensions on the Skywagon, I knew that I had a different animal in my hands. And the VGs, honestly, they made a nice handling airplane again on the good bad scale. That is really good, and I was happy. But I had to lower my pattern altitude by 300 feet. Doing the big slip every time, even with no wind, means that you're starting too high. I like tight patterns, and there was a lot of extra lift there that I was needing to put my arms around. So since the engine out video series in the Bonanza, I've been thinking about how to best go about computing best glide for the Skywagon. And it's a highly modified wing with a sportsman cuff, wing X extensions, VGs, and these big tires. And you can see they're pretty big. All kinds of mods to the stock wing, and these big drag donuts all make a difference, okay? The POH didn't have any numbers, but even if it did, it wouldn't really apply, right? So what to do? What to do? Well, I went to my flying Bible, which is the Aerodynamics for Naval Aviators. And, you know, that's something the Navy actually did right, which is a plus they added to the world. This puts a little, that plus a little noodling on the interweb produced the notion that the best endurance speed, which is the speed which you can fly the longest with the minimum power, was going to be damn close to the minimum sink speed. All I needed was a few data points, and from that I could compute the best range speed. And the easiest way to think about all this is that trading altitude for airspeed is equivalent to using min power to maintain the best endurance or best range speed, or more commonly known as the max lift over drag speed. Easy peasy, right? Amongst friends, hey, it's just all angle of attack, right? Well, as I said before, we're not going to install expensive flight test equipment. We go with what we got. This is backyard flight test. It's the 1920s and 30s all over again. And for our purposes, small errors are just not important. And anything less than 5%, well, hey, it's just no big deal. The only clean runs for today were the no flap and the flaps 10, and everything else was bumping against the stall, exhibiting a pitch phugoid, and in my view, going any further on the test card was pointless. What I wanted to know was these two things. Best, I wanted to find min sync, and then best glide, so anything else I didn't need data points. So then I decided to come home and reduce the data, which means that I crunched the numbers in my spreadsheet, you know, and what I came up with surprised me. Well, actually, we sort of knew what it was going to be in the air, right? I mean, you were there. It was surprising. Then V endurance speed, no flap, was 53 miles an hour for a glide ratio of 9.3. At 10 degrees flap, it was 43 miles an hour at 290 foot per minute sink rate. Wow! For a sink ratio, or glide ratio of 13.1. I'm going to call this V min sync, and I'm going to target 43 miles an hour and 10 flap whenever I need min sync speed. So if I need range in the glide, I'm going to call that best glide. V range is no flaps, 70 miles an hour, with a glide ratio of 10.5 to 1. At 10 flap, it was 57 miles an hour with a glide ratio of 14.8 to 1. Wow! Heck, even the Bonanza POH sets its glide ratio is 10.2 to 1. And in anyone's book, I think this is pretty impressive. Maybe it's not a glider, but heck, it's not a drag monster either. I got to admit how tickled I am at the impact 10 flap out on the numbers. It was pretty impressive. As a comparison, the POH for a late model C185 Skywagon sets the best glide at 80 miles an hour with a glide ratio of 7.9 to 1. By the way, I did confirm best glide numbers in a different flight, and they were pretty much right on prediction for this airplane. The question is, what's yours? Go out and do this test for your airplane, let me know. I'd love to hear it. So if you're on, if you have a Skywagon, you're sitting on the fence wondering whether you should do these mods or not, whether they make a difference, I'd say the numbers tell a pretty stark tale. When you compare stock to this wing, it's a 24% improvement in lift. That isn't too shabby. Pretty serious, actually. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I sure enjoyed making it. I always love learning something new. And if you did, please hit subscribe. That really helps. And if you want notifications of the next video, hit the bell next to the subscribe button. I think it's right down there. I look forward to hearing your comments and inputs. Hey, my flame suit is on. Well, not really, but I do have my new logo on. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on FlyWire.